I feel like that's wrong.
I'm thirsty.
I think he can't like. I don't care if it's a picture of the dog on the page. Nobody better like it.
Like, I feel like you should look at it like, I deserve this. Yes, this is.
Hey y'all. Hey, I'm Takara.
I'm Shanita.
I'm Melissa.
What up, peoples? I'm Crystal.
And this week we are talking about spirituality and all things spirituality, which encompasses a lot of different topics. So let's get into it, girls.
Yes. So I know y'all have been seeing this like new trend spirituality. Like it's literally everywhere now. Like, you know, in the emails when like, let's just say Fashion Nova, like they say 222, like they have to put something like that in it. I have seen that with several businesses. And it's kind of getting out of hand because I feel like they're taking away from what it actually is. Have y'all been seeing that a lot lately?
I have, especially on Facebook. And this one person in particular, I see them post a lot of, oh, this is the numbers I'm seeing, you know, I'm getting it, like I understand, like I'm reading the messages. So it's like this past week, they keep screenshotting numbers, like the time, or if they see something like some combination. I don't know much about it, but apparently it's the numbers that person is seeing.
Angel numbers.
I don't know. Right. That's what I was going to say. So do people understand how that's connected to spirituality?
No, they do not. And honestly, I think a lot of people see it as a good thing. Oh, I'm saying angel numbers, so this means something good is about to happen. No, that's not how it works. Like spirituality is to warn you. You know, it could be for good. It could let you know something good is happening, but it's like it's a lot tied into it. Like it goes with astrology. Like for example, this girl on TikTok, she was just saying how this girl kept seeing angel numbers and she ended up getting jumped not too long afterwards. But when she actually broke everything down, including the astrology, like it was something with the planets. Yes, it was something with the planets in violence. And she kept saying the angel number. So it's trying to warn her that something violent was about to happen very soon.
Scary.
But she was seeing it as something positive. So that's what I'm saying. It's not just positivity.
So how do you know, I guess, when they're saying you don't?
You know, it's something that you learn over time. Like, I don't even know it fully. You know, I just know from my experience. And I've been on my journey for a few years and I still don't have it down packed.
Yeah, so it wouldn't have been no way she could know that it was dangerous.
If she not into astrology, no.
So I would say, to me, spirituality is about listening to, you know, what you're being told. Is about being still and, you know, you're being guided. And so if she was in a place where, you know, she was able to listen, she would have gotten some type of warning or something. So just because you see numbers, there are other ways to get direction or to see what's coming or to hear whatever you need to hear. You don't just have to look at numbers. Because people get so fixated on the numbers and they lose sight of everything else. My bad.
So let's rewind, because tell me what angel numbers are in the first place.
It's plenty of different patterns. 222, 123, 1111. It's
a pattern of numbers.
Yeah.
Okay. That you see like reoccurring or something.
Right. So I think people actually have to learn out how they receive messages, because, you know, some people hear it. Some people can see vision. Some people can see it. Some people taste it. Some people just feel it. You know, you just have to. Yeah, there's actually a psychic ability where you taste things. Like it's usually like when a loved one is visiting you and you tasted something that they may have made, or it could be a number. I promise you, it's a number of things that could happen.
Yeah. One of my friends said like whenever he gets a smell like spaghetti and meatballs, it reminds him of his mom, and it lets him know that his mom, who has passed, is around. So he isn't eating it, is nowhere around, there's no smelling of it, no cooking of it, and he'll just smell it out the blue. Yeah, or he may taste it, because you can sometimes taste things too. So yeah.
But you know, Tabitha Brown, she said that, I want to say, when before her mom passed, her mom was telling her that her grandmother used to leave nickels for her. So she, you know, was jokingly and was just like, so what are you going to leave for me when you pass? And she was like, I'm going to double it and I'm going to leave dimes. And so what's so cool about her is when she'll see a dime, it'll have a date, like a year on it, that always reminds her of a certain event that has occurred during that time. So she always, you know, feels her mom's presence when she see dimes. And it's always when she needed it.
I've heard her talk about that. Actually, I think she said more recently, like she had some kind of big thing going on and she went to a hotel and she checked in and she said she turned around and there was an art piece made of nothing but dimes.
Wow.
Mhm.
I hadn't seen that one yet.
Mhm. It was really touching. It was
For
really
me,
touching.
Spirituality is about recognizing and paying attention. Like some people could have saw the dimes and it just would have went up their head and they would have thought about it. Some people, it will be there and they just never even see the dime. So spirituality is about like focusing in on things that are there, like signs or what messages that you're being sent, and being able to actually see it. So being tuned in and open enough to see what's being shown to you. So whether it's the dimes, whether it's a specific lyric out of a song, what if it's you overhearing a conversation from somebody else that something you needed to hear, they didn't know you was eavesdropping, any of that.
Something on TV.
So you know what? I don't think I always put it together like as clearly as you guys are saying other people do, but there are times when I'm like at work, I listen to audio stuff all the time, right? And I will be listening to like a book and it'll have a name in it, right? And the name will be Mike. And I swear to God, the next email I get in my inbox will be somebody named Mike. Or, and honestly, like I said, I don't ever in the moment, I don't put it together that way. But afterwards I might be like, oh, what an interesting coincidence. And it happens so often. That's just one example. There's also, so another thing for me, I guess, again, I wouldn't claim to have like psychic powers or anything like that. However, I think it's like you said, when you are open to it, you get certain things. Like I can remember one time being in a specific place and a person hugged me. And when they hugged me, I heard a message that this person was cheating with my boyfriend. Swear to God. And I've told Crystal that. I feel like I've told you that. Crystal, did I tell you that?
It sounds familiar.
And it was the absolute.
It was true?
It was absolutely true.
Wait, so why was she hugging you?
Did she know about
you? I mean, the story is so much deeper. However, yes.
And you know what? I'll say to Kari, like, you are very intuitive. I don't think I've ever told you, like, a lot of times you will like come up with something or like you'll know what I'm thinking or something. And I'm like, how'd you know that? And then I realized how to block you. And so I started blocking you. And you don't even know I've been blocking you. I'm not gonna tell you how I do it. But once I started doing it, you don't get what I be thinking then, But if I don't block you, you'll figure out what I'm thinking.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I need to know how to block some people because I don't need people know what I'm thinking.
Speaking of weird stories, so I have a weird story to tell. So me and my best friend went to Oklahoma to the casino. Remember this part. We both saw this IHOP, right? We said we're going to go there before we leave, right? Okay, so the day comes to where we're going to go to IHOP. We're driving. When I tell you, it was like 2 minutes from the hotel. We're driving. We said, where's this IHOP? We 10 minutes down the street. There is no IHOP in sight. We put in the GPS. The closest one is still 10 minutes away from us. And so we're like, we know ain't nothing wrong with us. Like, we know we're not tripping because that's what I'm saying. We both saw. If it was me, I would have said, you know what? I'm tripping. I ain't even gonna worry about it. But we both saw it. And it was not there anymore. When I tell you it was so crazy, I still can never forget about it to this day. It was so crazy.
I believe you. It sounded like me and Krista in Florida.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, she's
like,
it
was so crazy. I don't even know how to explain it. I doubt I told you to Kari because I don't even know how to explain it.
Exactly.
It just
what happened?
A lot. It had to do with us at a restaurant, possibly getting, I don't know. I feel like we were not drugged.
What?
Yeah,
You
Shanita
gotta
did
hit
things differently. We got it in Uber. We were like, we had been to our hotel like a specific way, like several times. This driver took us away. We had never been before. We were seeing things we had never saw. We somehow passed our hotel, never even saw when we passed it. And at one point, it was like, just let us out, because this is weird. We don't know what's going on. Shanita was hearing music that told her to stop listening to it. Like, we got out the cab, like, and just walked back to the hotel because it was behind us somehow. Somehow it was behind us.
No, that was the smartest decision you probably ever
we
made.
didn't turn or nothing.
Yeah.
And it's like, I wanted to tell Kristen so bad because for me, the music started kind of making me sleepy. And I didn't like the feeling, like I was, I don't know, like almost like in a trance or something. And I just kept trying to not hear it. And I'm looking at Crystal and she looks normal. And I'm like, is she not feeling what I'm feeling? And so that's why I never said nothing to her. But we, like you said, we ended up getting out. And then the driver, he kind of waited for a minute. And I guess when he realized we weren't getting in, he left.
Wow.
That's so weird, because I honestly feel like people will do stuff like that and you would never even notice. Like, what if y'all, wasn't, paying attention to stuff like that and y'all don't know where y'all could have been? And that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't think people realize how much people are into spirituality than we actually think. Do you get what I'm saying? Yeah. This is like, I don't know. Yeah.
Okay. So, I guess two things. So one thing I'm going to say for me, spirituality is all of that, but it's also more of knowing that, there's a higher power that is within you instead of outside of you. And so when I hear spirituality, that's what it means to me. And I don't think a lot of people see it that way, or they just like, the fun part of it. But to me, the basis of it is like, the power is in you and everything, that you need is within you.
The way I see it, I feel like it's more about life. This is completely my opinion, just disclaimer. I kind of feel like life is a test. We go through stuff, we pass it. If we don't pass, we got to do it again. That's just how I look at it. And I think it's more about just, leveling up. That's just how I see it. It's about, once you learn everything, keep going up and up and up.
Yeah. So do you want to say what made you get into it? Like, how did you get into it?
I got into it because this one point in my life, I was very, 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 very extremely depressed. And I don't even know how to explain it, because it was so much stuff happening to me at one time. And it was just like my third eye just boom. It was just like, it was no slow. It was no easing me into it. Like, when I tell you, I told my mother I need to go to a mental crazy hospital. I told her that. She's like, girl. And then she, she kind of explained everything to me. And I was like, oh, okay. But I was still scared because, like I said, everything that was happening to me was like, boom. It was no easing me into it. I was hearing stuff. I was seeing stuff. People touched me and I was seeing stuff. And I was like, you know what? It's too much. I was getting a little bit overwhelmed. And I was in college by myself. So, like I said, that was like my first time actually getting everything all at once.
Do you think it happened before, but maybe you just didn't pay attention to it? Or maybe because you were not like in a place of feeling however you were feeling at that moment, that it didn't slow down long enough to pay attention?
I was definitely always, aware, because I used to tell my mom I don't like the door open, my bedroom door open, and it's dark in the living room. I could not do it because I kept feeling something, and I knew I wasn't tripping. Everybody else would be like, Melissa, why are you scared of the dark? And I realized when I got older, that's one of my strong clairs. I feel something before I see it. I feel something before anything else, and that's why I always have to close the door now, because I don't play that. Okay, because if I see something, it's gonna be an issue.
Listen, I kid you not, I'm the same way to this day. Like, people can't stand it, because not only do I have to shut the door, I have to lock the door. Yes. Because it's not like I would, see things or whatever. And that started when I was really, really young. I can't watch scary movies. Like, my, family, they love them. But me, I can't, because then I start having nightmares, and it's hard to kind of get rid of that or whatever. And so I had to sleep with the light on, or the TV on, or some type of light, because if not, then, I do, or I just kind of start feeling weird. But I don't care how many times I get up in the night to use the bathroom. Is that too much? and get back. But every time I come in, I shut the door and I lock it. I don't care if somebody's in the house with me, I have to lock the door.
So
Yes,
what does the locking the door part do? Like, have you
The bedroom door, I guess for me, it's an extra security. Basically, it was like one day I was asleep, but I was awake. And so it's like I could feel somebody coming in and like just like surrounding me. And like I couldn't move or anything like that. So it's just like for me, if the door is open, I feel like it's letting somebody just freely walk in. So it has to be locked. But then if it's, oh, go ahead.
No, you go ahead. Finish.
Well, because for me, if I feel like if it's open or whatever, then, you know, I mean, if it's locked, then I feel like you have to struggle or whatever. And I'm like, okay.
It's an obstacle in between you and whatever the thing is.
Yeah. And I honestly feel like you closing and locking the door is not only just physical, but it's also like spiritual too. Like that's your way of locking, you know, the spirit part out. So you're doing it physical, but you're also doing it in a spiritual sense too. And that's yeah.
So when you were saying something about it was like you were awake, but you weren't awake, and like somebody was on you, I've heard of that before, and I feel like the term I heard was like the witch is riding your back or something like that.
I always thought you're supposed to be laying down like on your stomach or something. I wasn't. Like I was on my side. So like if it was your boyfriend or somebody like coming in the bed and just hugging you, that's how it was. Like I was on my side. And then it's like I couldn't, you know, the second time it happened, you know, that's when it was just like, you know, you're supposed to call the name Jesus and stuff like that. So I tried, like, it's like I couldn't get it out, but I tried, and eventually like I could mumble something and whatever it was, it let me loose. But that puts me in the mind of that. But in my mind, I always thought you had to be on your stomach for that to happen. But I wasn't.
And let me add something. When that happens, like y'all have to be very stern with when that happens. Like, get away from me. You're not welcome here. Leave me alone. I don't play that. Like, you really do have to say that, because otherwise they're gonna think you're playing and they're gonna keep doing it. Just say, I know it's kind of scary.
I was just shocked.
You do have to do that, like for real. And like you should probably sage and like clear your energy, even though a lot of people don't believe in that, but that Palo Santo and sage will help you a lot. You like won't even feel it no more. Oh, and I was gonna go into something that I also experience a lot is when I go into like grocery stores or maybe I'm at a concert. I get overwhelmed and lightheaded because it's like I said, feeling is my strongest thing. So I feel so many people's energy, and like my girlfriend always be like, what's wrong with you? And it's because I feel so many energies, because somebody's sad over there, somebody mad over there, somebody beefing with their boyfriend. You get what I'm saying? Like I just feel all of that. And she just be like, what did I do? That's like, it's nothing. You just gotta wait till we get out the store, and then I'll calm down, and it's like nothing ever happened. Do y'all ever experience that, like when y'all go to stores?
Not that. But I mean, like, again, I guess I just don't put words to things, but I do feel like the word intuitive would be the right word to use for me, because I can always, like, there are just certain things that I know, like, it's not even like, well, maybe this is such and such, but I know it's going to happen. Like, and it's not usually like bad things, but it's simple things like, you know, if somebody's gonna like come to my house, or if somebody's gonna text me. It's not all the time, but there are just certain things that in my spirit I just know. And again, I don't even acknowledge them as being things. I just kind of brush it off until later, when so many things happen, I'll be like, Crystal, what about you? Yeah. So you said, wait, don't tell me how you block me, but tell me how blocking works in general.
Well, I say blocking in general is really about setting an intention. So like, even if you're like an empath, like what Melissa was describing, you can still block people from getting their energy, like while you're out and about. So you can do things like build a shield around you, like an invisible shield, but it's more like setting an intention about like how far out it goes. You can build a shield Also for me, washing my hands will help me clear or get rid of things. Or one technique is that try to like imagine your energies out here and just draw it in like you're folding up. So you bring it in so you won't feel other people's energy.
That's something I'll probably need to be doing, as well as covering your head when you're doing things like tarot readings or just any spiritual thing that you like. What is it called? Like spiritual service. Cover your head.
Why?
What is covering? Yeah.
Because it protects you. I don't know the specifics, but I know it definitely helps from other people's energies and like whatever other people could be dealing with. It was, kind of blocking, like my mom said, from you feeling it or you taking it home with you, whatever the fact may be.
And I don't, not necessarily in the stores, but for me, it's just like I'm a super friendly person. It's very rare, but it happens a lot too, if that makes sense. Like if I meet someone, I'm not just automatically just turned off or kind of, I don't say rude, but standoffish from a person. But it's just like sometimes I can just feel that you're not a good person, or something you are involved with or whatever, it just doesn't agree with me, and I kind of push myself away. Like I can't explain it. I can't say, oh, Melissa, I feel some bad energy coming from you, but that's how it is. Because we had this one person, and everybody was just so fascinated with this person. Oh, they're gonna be good, they're gonna be doing this. It was me and one other girl. We was just like, I don't see what they seeing, but something is just telling me this person ain't right. And it took a little while, but we was right. The truth started revealing itself.
Yes. And I would say my experience in college, like definitely what you just said, 100%. And I kind of felt bad because like my friends, they would want to talk to people and, talk to guys. And I would immediately like, let me tell you just what happened. So basically when my spirit or whatever it is feels that somebody's off, I get awkward. I don't have a response to say that. Like literally, I cannot think of a response to say to them at all. Like I don't know what be going on, but people be like, "What's wrong with you?" But it's just like that. My energy doesn't like whatever your energy is, and like you just said, I can tell like that when I'm not gonna mess with somebody, when somebody be lying. It's very easy for me to tell. That's why I don't talk to people like that.
Yep. I'm like Melissa too. Like I could be like in a group of people and just feel so relaxed and just be like yes and laughing, and then the wrong person come around and I have nothing to say. I'm like this. They're like, what happened? Like what's going on? And I don't even know because I don't realize it. And I no longer have anything to say, but it's because I felt something from that person that's still there and that's still lingering. And it's like, I think we just never knew about it, so we never paid attention to it.
Yeah.
So like now people are starting to become more aware and we're starting to pay attention to more things like, oh, my body is telling me something. Let me start listening to what my body is saying. And to me, that's what spirituality is. It's listening what your body is saying and what it's telling you, and start paying attention. Start like, even if you have to make notes to start putting like puzzle together to figure it out as a whole or whatever, do all that.
So I have a question. What's the difference between, I guess, spirituality and Christianity?
For me, it's like what I said. It's about believing that all your power is within. And to me, Christianity is about believing about God and outside of you. That's what
I feel like a lot of it is the same, but to me, it'd be more of asking someone to do something for you when you have the power to do it yourself. And it's like you don't never give yourself credit. You always thinking somebody else. Do you know what I mean? When it's you that put in the work to do it. So that's how I kind of see it. It's like they look for an outside source when it's actually.
So do you think there's room for both in the same space? I
say whatever is for you, that's what you do, because nobody's journey is the same. Nobody is right or wrong. You know what I'm saying? Like people could be partly Christian and part spiritual. Like I don't think it's a one or the other thing. I think it's just what works for you.
Mm-hmm. So why do you think it's such a big trend now?
Because it's, for one, at first, let me tell you. So this is a conspiracy theory, just saying. So whenever COVID-19 happened, they thought that we were going to go crazy and all of this because we were stuck in the house. But what flipped on them was that we were at home and we were studying, and now more than half the population is woke now. And they wasn't expecting that. So now they're trying to push an agenda of, okay, we're gonna push this manifestation, we're gonna push this, all this random stuff that they're doing now, you know, like all these big companies that wasn't doing it at first, they're gonna push that now, and which is why everybody's talking about it, trying to throw the people who's trying to get woke off their thing by miseducating them. That's what I think.
So what does that mean? Because I've heard that terminology a lot, being woke. What does that mean?
So the way I see it, like I said, this is my opinion. You don't have to believe me, you can call me crazy, I don't care. I'm not talking to y'all, I'm just saying disclaimer. I think like it's like a matrix, it's like a game. That's how I see it. It's like they want us to do certain things, but you have to wake up to what they're pushing. Like I said, the TV, what is the TV called? Television. Like you literally have to break down the English language to get it. Like, do you get what I'm saying? Like, if they throw it in our face all the time, and like when you become woke, you can see it like that. You can see it easily what they're doing, and it's up to you to separate yourself or not.
Yeah. So woke means basically that, you know, a large amount of people believe one thing, but you're able to see through what other people believe. So like someone may be like, oh, I'm really political, I'm trying to change the government, you know, and I'm gonna make sure we get these laws changed. Then someone may say, oh, I'm woke, I know that the system and the government is rigged. So woke basically means a person believes something different than what the masses believe. Yes, people use woke for everything.
That's not what woke means.
That's what people use woke for everything. It no longer means that they see, you know, spirituality.
Oh, like it's getting taken away from what the actual term is. Okay.
The original term was. Yeah.
So this is new to me. There's two different terms for woke, because I always thought woke, again, I heard that once, you know, we were in quarantine. That's when I saw it more. So woke before that meant
something completely different than it does now. Like I said, it's the agenda being pushed, and like we just said, it's being taken, like the original definition is being used for something else. Like they're trying to what is it called?
Dumb it
like,
down.
Yeah, that's what they're trying to do. Like they're trying to call everybody woke now. Like I said, everybody's miseducated, and they think it's just about manifestation and crystals and angel numbers, when it's way more than it.
So the original term had to do with the spiritual side.
Yeah.
And now the term has to do with like just being able to see through, you know, whatever you're told and not taking it blindly.
But even the original side was the same concept, because it's like saying that no one believes or sees the true spirituality and understand that there's a bigger picture other than what they were being told from, you know, school, church, their environment, all those things. So it's the same thing. It's just now people are no longer using it for just one thing. They're using it for everything. So yeah, and as you can see, you know, there are people like Melissa that's like, I got to get the word out. I got to let people know. I got to tell everybody. And I'm more like, well, you know, if they want to get it, they're going to get it, because I feel like, you know, once something within you says it's time, then it's time. And if you don't get the information from me, you're going to get it from someone else, because it's time and you'll get it whenever you need to get it. That's how I see it. Were you going to say something, Shanita?
Well, I was just gonna ask, how did you get into it, spirituality?
I got into it similar to how Melissa got into it. I wouldn't say it was a depression, but I do feel like I kind of like isolated, and I was kind of like, something just don't feel right. I don't know what's going on. And I just stopped doing all the things that I was doing. I stopped going to church. I stopped, you know, socializing, because just nothing was making sense. So in the midst, I basically started meditating. And long story short, in the middle of meditating, like things just started coming to me, like downloads, like, or rather just information that I needed was being told to me. And the more I was like meditating and being still and listening, the more I was able to get. And then I started reading. And then it's like, I would have a thought. I'd be like, oh, I wonder what it means for, let's say, angel number or energy healing. What does that mean? And then I'll go and research it for like hours or days or whatever question I have. Like I would almost immediately get an answer to it. And then I would just go and research, look it up. And the more I researched and looked it up, the more I was led towards that. So I feel like the difference is that some people are led to it because of something within them, and other people are kind of like going that direction because it's a trend and they don't know what it means. But I also feel like we are evolving here on the earth as a whole. So people have to evolve in that also, even though it's not really real and it's just like kind of fake, they still are a part of the evolution process because we have to go that way regardless.
That kind of reminds me of, I don't know if y'all ever watched it, Manifest off Netflix.
Part of it.
I did too, but I couldn't get into it.
I liked it. It was really, really good. But that's what kind of happened. It was like they were all getting these messages and, as Crystal say, like downloads. But then as it progressed, it's like one group of them decided they was going to kind of take their own path, and it became toxic and, dangerous to other people instead of, I guess, doing it the natural way. If that makes sense.
They put a lot of stuff in the shows. I'm telling you, like, if y'all actually pay attention to these, these fake shows, it will actually tell you a lot about what's going on before it even happens.
Yeah, so that's why I try to be careful when I watch. Like, if it's something new and trending, I usually don't watch it until like it has died down, or I don't watch it at all, just because I know that there are messages that are trying to be pushed, and I'm like, I may not be able to see it, at that time because of all the hype around it. But if I wait, then I can more than likely see what the message that's trying to be pushed.
Do you think that there are messages in everything, or do you think that some things are just generally what they are?
It's never coincidence. Coincidences don't exist.
And I think there are different messages, and some of them are so small and minute that you don't even know. And the way I started realizing it is when I went back and watched like old shows, like let's say you watch like Sister or Family Matters or whatever, and they do something and you're like, that wasn't even a thing during that time period. Why was this little 3-second, wording or skit mentioned, or why did they do that? It wasn't even a thing. And I was like, wow, they did this back then.
So can you give me an example? Like, because I just feel like I said, I don't put a name to things. And so I also just think I'd be missing it. And so like, can you think of like a show or something where you feel like you got a message from? Or like anything?
Yep. I was watching this TV series called Suits. And it has it has to be like what, at least like 5 years old, maybe. And so back then they were talking about like almond milk, like all the vegan stuff that you hear about now. It was some other like vegan stuff that's like real big now, but they were talking about it then. I was like, people, I mean, I'm sure there were people that were listening. Right. I'm sure there are people that were using it and into it at that time, but it wasn't like widespread as it is now. And I was like, that's one of those things where it's kind of like, what would be the point of that if you're not appealing to your audience and what they're doing at that moment? Unless you're trying to like slowly, put stuff in place for it to come to be bigger later on in the future. Yeah. And so I just feel like either you want to get it or you don't. And if you don't want to get it, it ain't for me to tell you. It's for Melissa to tell you.
I was gonna say, because you want to know something. When I was so that's what I was gonna say. Speaking of the scary movies, I used to always be like, oh, I wish I could do that. You know what they used to do in the movies? Like, I used to always be like, oh my gosh, I wish I could do that whole time I can. But I used to always say when I was little, I just want to help people. That's what I wanted my career to be. And I thought it was like something in the medical field, but turns out it's this, you know what I'm saying? I know I'm supposed to be like giving people messages and helping people, wake up and stuff like that.
Wow.
So you watch scary movies?
Not no more. And when I tell you, I feel so weird watching them now. And let me tell you something. I've always felt weird, and people, like I said, people used to always say, Melissa, you tripping. But I didn't used to have scary dreams. I used to just feel very weird. And what I've learned recently on TikTok, which makes a lot of sense, they said on the sets of like stuff like The Conjuring, they said a whole bunch of weird stuff used to happen.
Yeah, I've heard that too.
Yes, and I believe it too, because y'all need to stop messing with stuff. Leave that stuff alone. What's wrong with y'all? We don't need to see it.
So you think you don't like it because, like, for me, I just be watching it and it's entertainment. It's like, ooh, scary. But you watch it, you watch it and you be like, oh, they playing because this is real life.
Well, I watch it for educational purposes because, like I said, they put it in plain sight. Like when I tell you a lot of that stuff is real and that's exactly how you do it, that is real. So I watch it for that, and also it be based on a true story. So I like to hear the backstory of it. And like I said, you can see it in people today. Like if you actually watch how people react, you can. I promise you see the exact same thing.
Yeah, and also I listen to like a lot of people talk about how they make movies or write scripts, and they will say that they like look up metaphysical type things or things that could actually happen, and they use that when they're writing their movies. So when they write the movies, they are actually like looking up how it would work in real life. And so when I'm watching something like that, I'm kind of like Melissa's kind of like, so let me see like how this works. I try to find like a different angle or a different truth in it, like something what they're saying that's like, oh, okay, so that's what this is going on. Not necessarily that I'm learning, but more like being able to visualize. So it's like I'm just able to see it. Like even though I may know it, it's like just seeing it is different than like just knowing how it goes.
Couldn't even get to that point. Like it when I was younger, I would try to turn the volume off and watch it that way, or like cover my ears. But
it's the
like, even now talking about it, I'm like, it's kind of late. So
I mean, and I wanted to add one more thing because a lot of people think this. Just because someone does voodoo or witchcraft does not mean that they playing with Satan, the devil, whatever y'all want to call it. Can we? Come on. Like, it's 2022. It's time to start educating ourselves and stop thinking stuff like that, because they put that stuff in the TV and now half of the world think that. And it's not, that's what I'm saying. Like, I be trying, y'all know I read tarot cards. Oh, is that scary? Is something gonna happen to me? Do you think I'll be offering it to you? These people know me and they be asking questions like that. Now, y'all know that.
But to be fair, you know that there's a balance, right? So for the good, there is equally an evil.
But is it right for them
I think that's true. No.
Is it right for them to assume that it's automatically bad though? Tarot cards, like, that's what I'm saying. Each person is different. Obviously, there are people that do bad things. There's people that do voodoo, like, you know what I'm saying? That's bad. Like, they do it to harm people, literally. But I just want them to stop thinking that everyone is bad who does it. That's not fair to the people who are trying to help people by using it.
So are you saying that they put tarot readings in the same category as, what did you say? Voodoo
Witchcraft.
Witchcraft?
Yeah.
I know, like, I was raised up in church. And I know that they always kind of said that was like playing with the devil or, stuff like that. I mean, but I like tarot. I always have. And so, for me,
I would just say
more fun than anything else.
Open-minded.
What you laughing at?
Why are you laughing, Shanita? What we missed? Put us in on the joke.
She started laughing when we started talking about tarot cards.
Yeah, because she was like, it was more fun than anything.
Yeah, I mean, because like even when I was younger, I would always like one of my good friends, we were in New York and they did tarot readings, and I was like, oh, I want to go, and she's like, you can go. I'm not gonna be playing with the devil. And I was like, it's fun. And I want to see what they're gonna say.
But do you think, not saying you, but do you think that that's how some people kind of get the bad name, because they're thinking it's fun and you're not really getting the backstory or know how to do it properly, I guess, if that's the right word? you know how you say that some people don't really know like the real spirituality, they just doing it because it's a trend. So if you got a lot of people that's playing around and not doing it right, I guess.
Yeah, like a lot of people do like love readings and they be saying the same thing to everybody. Yes, your ex wants you back. Like some people really do it for money, and it's really messed up because it gives the people who's actually trying to do it a bad rep, literally. Like they like that's a part of the trend. Like a whole bunch of people saying your ancestors sent me to you. Girl, no, they didn't. Stop. Don't do that. They get
So what
blocked
is the
every
thing
time.
on TikTok with the sticks?
Oh, what's it called?
I don't know the name of it, but it's like an ancient, I feel like it's an ancient African thing. That
That's
they
how I be feeling. Like those, like it seems like all of people be getting the same answer.
Hmm?
and they
Because
may
it's
be.
like it crosses or something.
Yeah,
I
everybody
feel-
not on that real.
Yeah, I feel like people just, nowadays are just doing stuff and just playing around with it and not fully understand it. But I think like what you were talking about, like the bad thing behind it probably is mainly if someone's trying to do like a spell or like or want to cause harm to another person, they may not fully understand it. Something may come back to them depending on how they do it, or if they use the wrong words or do it to the wrong person or something like that. Because it's kind of like people say it's bad, but then when you ask follow-up questions like how is it bad, like show me where this is bad, lead me down that line, how did you get there? And most people don't know. It's just kind of like, well, it's bad.
And speaking on what, or just going off of what you just said, words, that's what I'm saying. Like the words that you say, that stuff can easily happen. That's why you really don't supposed to wish death on nobody with sickness, because for one, if you do that and the person didn't do nothing to you, you can get some real bad karma doing that. And which is why if somebody, what is it called, people's free will, you don't supposed to do that. Because that's what I'm saying. I think a lot of people think that stuff is fake and it's not. That's what all I'm gonna say is watch what you say. Stop saying you're broke. Stop saying, just please be careful with what's come out your mouth.
I think we've talked a lot about spirituality. I think it's probably been more than a mouthful. We may have to have a part 2 one day.
Yes.
We'll see.
So we received a letter, and it says, "Hi ladies, I need some tips on how to upgrade my style. I would like to dress more stylish, but I'm not sure where to start. You're not by yourself. Putting clothes together is not something I'm good at. I've always worked from home and never really had to dress up to go anywhere. I would like to start going out and meeting people, but I want to look good. Since you are all females, I was wondering if you had any tips on how I can upgrade my look."
Takara, she's the fashionista.
So I would say for me, develop your own personal style, right? So take a combination of the things that you already do with ease and add a little something extra to it. Like if you don't can't think of ideas, go on social media, because people are always posting outfits of the day, OOTD, I think hashtag OOTD, and that's outfit of the day. But again, like I said, start with whatever comes natural to you and then add a little zhuzh to it. Like you're going to have to kind of step outside of your comfort zone in some ways. Like you don't have to be extreme, but just start somewhere. Whether that is also look at fashion magazines, or look to like stars who appeal to you, stars who like their style is kind of in line with your current style, but maybe like a bump up. Maybe you see them add an extra, I don't know, scarf or brooch or whatever it is that they do. Brooch sounds so old, but I like them actually.
Well, I can totally feel where she's coming from, but you were saying like look at magazines and look at what people have the outfit of the day. I can look at that, but that don't mean I can go to the store and pick out that. Like that's the problem that I have. I'm not able, like I can go in the store and if I see something on the mannequin and I like that, then I go look for that exact outfit. But if I look on a picture or in a magazine or something, I can't go to the store and find that.
Go ahead, Melissa.
I would say like what I do is I figure out what specific style I'm going for. Like for instance, right now I'm looking for more earthy style. So I looked on Pinterest and looked at Black girl earthy outfits, you know, whatever you want to call it. And a lot of stuff came up. And I also checked Shein and I was like, oh my God,
Oh,
they had
shit.
all this stuff here the whole time. And I completely passed by it because I never looked it up and saw, you know, a whole bunch of outfits on it. And now I see it like that. So I think you actually need to find your look, you know, what exactly you're looking for.
Mm-hmm. I agree. I also think that, so you said you have trouble, like, or the person said they have trouble like putting it together, meaning like, if you, like you say, if you see something in a magazine, you're not going to ever find like an exact, unless they tell you exactly where they got it from, but try to get, you know, like use that as inspiration, not as a like, let me go mimic this to the T. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think for me, like it's also about training your eye, because you look at it and you look at it as a whole, but then you got to realize, okay, this is a button down shirt, or what they wear like layers on top. And that's what I actually like. I like the fact that it's layered. It took me a long time just to figure that out. Like I had to look at a whole bunch of pictures to see what is the common theme, what are they doing. So it's like, oh, okay, so it's fitted here, but it's loose here. So that's what I got to look for. It's like it's about training your eye, what exactly you like about it, and then going to find something that looks like that.
I would also say probably stop looking for outfits because I think you're gonna spend way more money that way. And like I said, yeah, I think it's gonna be, you know, you get one thing for like $100.
Piecing it together. Yeah.
Right. Instead of getting like a whole bunch of things that you can wear with several outfits.
Right. Like that's also another thing, right? Get some staple pieces that are, you know, just simple generic pieces. And then you add a little zhuzh to that.
Okay, I have a question. So let's say someone have a white t-shirt and blue jeans. Like how, like give us an example of how they can dress that outfit up.
Dress it up?
Yeah.
Jewelry for sure. But really
jewelry. Just
accessories, bracelets, necklaces.
What kind?
Any whatever you like. It's a white t-shirt and some jeans. You really can't go wrong.
You or the person can try on different kinds. So whatever you currently have, try on big hoops and see how it looks. Try on like little pearls, see how it looks. Try on like whatever you have and see how it looks with it. Try on multiple things. Don't try to like, to me, I say just throw some stuff on, because that's when I always look the best, when you just throwing stuff on and be like, oh, I didn't even know this would look cute with this.
So you were saying dressing up some jeans and a white tee. I love a white tee because you can do so much with it. For me, I would put on some knee-high boots with that if the jeans are fitted, and tie a flannel around my waist and do my bun, because that's what I do. And put on a cute, you know, face, some makeup and some real good earrings. And that would be dressing it up to me. I would even do that and wear that to church. Like I wouldn't wear the jeans and the t-shirt. Maybe I would put a black dress on instead, but I'd still tie the flannel around my waist and do the tall boots.
Well, you know what I think would help the lady plus myself, if y'all did like a little modeling show. It showed us, especially like work wise and after work, like just how you can take something plain, like y'all saying, this in your closet, and piece it together. I think she liked it.
Oh, that could be fun. We'll see what we could come up with. That might be fun.
Yep.
Well, thank you for writing into us.
Yep.
Hope it was helpful.
Yes, we appreciate the letter. Thank you for tuning in to the show. Hopefully you learned something about spirituality. If not, go and do your own research on it and see what else that you may find that connects with you. And we also was able to give a little advice on how to dress up your wardrobe. And so if you want to give us a couple of comments, you can always reach us on social media at The Melanated Opinion, and that's on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. Or you can also email us at themelanateopinion@gmail.com. And that's going to be it. Thanks for watching.
Bye.